Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 14th December 2024. So let's get started with our discussion without wasting any time. So say this first article guys, see the title. 30 people drowned per hour in 2021 says WHO. So what is the keyword here? Drowning of people, that is causing deaths of 30 people per every hour. And who said this data? That is WHO. So what are the keywords here? There are two important keywords. First one is WHO. What is this WHO? World Health Organization. So exactly in your syllabus where you will be seeing about this WHO? In international organizations, which comes under your international relations from GS paper 2. And even in economy also, you will be seeing about this international relations from GS paper 3. And next one is, it is also important from your governance from GS paper 2 point of view. So here you have to know about some basic facts regarding this WHO, like when it was formed, what are the important aims and objectives of this WHO. And actually it comes under part of international organizations, right? So actually there are some allegations regarding reducing of functions, reducing of efficiency of this international organizations. So if you take in the case of WHO, during this COVID-19 pandemic, because of this no proper response from this WHO, many countries are claiming that there is decreased efficiency of international organizations. From that point of view, you have to see how this WHO had been failed. And even you have to see what is the role of WHO. So recently which disease had been declared as, for example, what is that? Topically neglected diseases, or like recently one disease had been declared as primary concern. So which is that disease is about? Not hemophilia. Next. Kala Azar, okay, next. Okay, sickle cell anemia, next. Recently one disease had been declared by WHO of international concern. Which is that disease? And I gave you mains question also on that topic, and we had discussion also on that. Disease of international concern, which disease? Come on, think and tell me. Come on. Okay, and next you have to see about deaths related to drowning. So here exactly you have to focus on the data which is given in this article. And you have to see one important thing, like what are the reasons of this drowning. And this article is saying that there is regional disparity. So in which areas we have huge number of deaths because of this drowning, you have to see that. And apart from that, you have to see what are the measures can be taken to control this. Okay, so these are the dimensions that you have to see from this article. And this topic is especially important from your mains, not from your prelims at all. Okay, now let us see the context why it is in news. WHO, it released its first ever global status report, and this report is on drowning prevention. And this report said that approximately 3 lakh people, they had been drowned in a single year of 2021. That means nothing but per every 1 hour 30 deaths are happening. And in these drowning events, 92% of people who drown, they are losing their life. And especially most amount of these people, they are from low and middle income countries. So whether India falls under this low and middle income countries? Yes, right? So because of this, it is a cause of concern even for India to stop this deaths of drowning. Okay, now let us see the important points that you have to remember from this article here is, because of this data, And this is the first kind of its report by WHO. It says that 3 lakh people they had drowned in 2021. That means we can understand that drowning fatalities are very high. Especially it is also one of the global health crisis. Because of this the deaths are happening in our country and as well as in even low and middle income countries. And especially in particularly vulnerable people, and as well as we need urgent attention, and as well as we need to even increase resources for controlling of deaths because of this drowning now. And next one is especially who are vulnerable for this drowning, children under 5 years. Children under 5 they represent a significant proportion of drowning deaths because they do not have the proper training in how to swim everything, but they will go into the water for learning of swimming. So because of this children under 5 they represent a significant proportion of drowning deaths. That means we need to take a targeted safety measures to control this deaths, and even children need to provide proper education as well as training and awareness, okay, to control these deaths. And next one here is, this report is also saying that there is regional disparities. Southeast Asian region is having around 83,000 deaths, which shows that uneven progress in drowning prevention, and we need to have a proper strategies in different contexts, especially in this Southeast Asia, because it is contributing huge number of deaths. And next one here is, despite of deaths there is a very slow progress in improvement. It means it is saying that we need to improve the efforts and we need effective resources and as well as consistent funding from the government to control this kind of events. Okay, so that is the thing. And say this article, Sri Lankan president to begin his 3-day visit to India tomorrow. So tomorrow Sri Lankan president, he is visiting India. So who is president of Sri Lanka? Okay, very good. So here you have to see about India-Sri Lanka relations. So this article is about India-Sri Lanka relations. So which subject you can see this topic? Yes, from GS paper to IR, and as well as from GS paper 1 under geography. Okay, so what are the dimensions you have to see? The first one is you have to see about history of India-Sri Lanka relations, and you have to see areas of cooperation between India and Sri Lanka. And recently Sri Lanka is in economic crisis, right? So you have to see what are the causes of economic crisis in Sri Lanka. And next you have to see about present visit. So what are the things that they are going to talk in this present visit? And in this present visit, if they are making any agreements, you have to see about those agreements. And next you have to see what are the challenges in India-Sri Lanka relations. So first of all, tell me what are the causes of recent economic crisis of Sri Lanka? Yes, they went for organic farming, complete organic farming in which crops? Tea. Okay, next organic farming in tea. Next inflation. Next political instability. Okay, debt trap. Next, can I add a point of investment or invested projects of China is also one of the important cause. Okay. Yeah. China's infrastructure development projects. Next, any other reasons which led to this? COVID. Okay, COVID-19. Next, fishing. Okay, so can I add because of climate change? Okay, so now let us move on to another interesting topic. So what are the challenges between India and Sri Lanka relations in the present? Yes, Curentissues Island issue, about ownership and as well as usage rights of these Curentissues Islands. Next, can I add about fishermen issue? Always there will be fishermen issue between India and Sri Lanka and India and Pakistan. Next,
Indian Tamils.
Yes, Tamilian issue. So what is that constitutional amendment? 13th. Yes, 13th CAA. Next. Indian Tamilian issue, fisherman issue, Kachativu issue. Next. Can I add China factor here? Yes, security. Next, any more challenges? Come on, you can do it. Tell me. Kachativu Islands, fisherman issue, Tamilian issue, China factor, security. That is border security, right? Especially. Next, migration.
Maritime water boundary.
Yes, very good. Maritime water boundary. Okay, tell me about what is the line which is present between India and Sri Lanka? Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar. Okay. So these are the things that you have to see, and now we are focusing on what is this present visit is about. And tell me one more important question I want to ask you. So what is the importance, strategic importance? What is the importance of Sri Lanka to India? Why we are much concerned about Sri Lanka? So actually you know that Sri Lanka went into economic crisis there. India supported the Sri Lanka to get loans from IMF also, right? So why India is much interested in the Sri Lanka?
India through Kachativu Islands, China can see the coastal area of India.
Okay, through Kachativu Island, China can access the coastal area. Okay, it will be.
Missiles and rockets which are launching.
Okay, China is investing in BRI. Okay, next. BRI, it will be having access to Indian coast. It will be affecting our strategy. Yeah, Hambantota port is in Sri Lanka. They are developing that. Because of that, yes, China is investing that. Apart from that, even to improve access in this Indo-Pacific region is also, Sri Lanka is very important. Next. And what is this neighborhood first policy of India? In that neighborhood first policy, Sri Lanka is a part of it or not? Yes. Next. What about Indian diaspora? Any other Indians are present in this Sri Lanka? Yes. Okay, so these all are the significance of Sri Lanka to India. So because of all these factors, India is much interested to maintain good bilateral relationship with Sri Lanka. Okay, now let us see what is this visit is about. Sri Lankan president will visit India from December 15 to 17. That means from tomorrow. For next 3 days, he will be staying in India, and they will be having talks, especially in sectors like investments, in energy cooperation, in also some controversial projects of Adani Group. So in these 3 areas, they are going to have talks. And even India is trying to focus to rebuild economy of Sri Lanka. Okay, and let us see the important facts which are given in this article. The first one here is, yes, once this Sri Lankan president is visiting India, that means we can understand that there is improving of bilateral and diplomatic relations between India and Sri Lanka. So with this visit, we can obviously strengthen our ties with Sri Lanka, so that will be helpful for economic recovery of Sri Lanka as well. And next one here is, we are focusing on investment and as well as commercial linkages. That means we are focusing on rebuilding of economy. Sri Lanka is also important for India because we can also have access to the trade markets of Sri Lanka, so that we can increase our imports. And obviously, we also require foreign investment as well as collaboration with the different countries. That will be helpful for overall economic development and as well as technology improvement of a country. And next one here is, we are also focusing on energy sector. So actually you know about some controversy which is happening with this Adani group of companies. So these companies are also investing in Sri Lanka. Again, this will be the one issue they are going to talk. So once the talks are completed, we can understand like what is the decision taken by India regarding this Adani group of companies who invested in this Sri Lanka. And next one here is, there will be also talks on debt management, debt treatment, etc. And this will be helpful for long-term economic recovery of the Sri Lanka. And this one is, always there is a conflict between India and Sri Lanka regarding fishermen, like till what is the area the Indians can go for fishing. So if they are crossing this international maritime boundary, obviously Sri Lankan Navy people, they come and they catch this Indian fishermen. So here they want to manage this regional dispute diplomatically. So if any country, if we are sharing boundary either land or either water, so if we have a proper relations, then we will be not having this kind of regional disputes. So that is a one important thing. They want to focus on maintaining of peace and as well as good relations with Sri Lanka. Okay, and now you have to know about what is the strategic importance of this Sri Lanka for India. So first one here is India is progressing, it is intrinsically linked with neighboring nations like Sri Lanka, and especially we want to enhance our own growth by integrating with southern economy. So already you know that in India's foreign policy we have neighborhood first policy. So in that neighborhood first policy, India will be giving importance for its neighboring countries. So here Sri Lanka is the part of neighborhood first policy, so that especially we want to enhance our growth which is linked to the southern economy in South Asia. And next one here is Sri Lanka is positioned near India's southern coast across the Spark Strait. That means it is playing a very important role in Indo-Pacific region. Okay, and even Indian Ocean, it is very strategically important for the waterway for trade and as well as for our military operations. So here Sri Lanka's location is very helpful. If you are having good relations with Sri Lanka, we will be having good grip in this Indian Ocean region, and it will be very helpful for our shipping, our trade, our safety and security in maritime arena. And next one here is it will be also helpful for ease of doing business. For example, we can enhance digital payments between these two countries, and we can also go for increasing of trade so that we can improve our connectivity and we can improve our tourism, so that people to people exchange will be there and we can establish peace across these two regions. So this is about significance, and I already said about what are the challenges. Okay. And see this article, Mahakumbh 2025 is Mahayagna of Unity, says PM in Prayagraj. So what is this Mahakumbh? So in which areas? Uttar Pradesh. So what is the recent development regarding this Mahakumbh? New district had been decided or announced by UP government. Okay, so actually I want to say about one important point which is given here. So here this Mahakumbh is very important from cultural point of view. If we want to preserve our culture, our heritage, so this kind of event should be done, right? So we can't avoid this kind of events. So actually this event, it is like a Mahayagna of Unity. That means millions of people, they will be coming and they will be uniting in a place. That means crowd management will be very difficult, right? And even providing of basic necessities for the people is also very difficult. So because of this, our Modi government launched a multilingual Shah AI Yak chatbot. It is very important. Shah AI Yak chatbot. So it is an artificial intelligence based platform to streamline communication for devotees attending this Mahakumbh. And in this they included 11 languages, especially for providing basic necessities for the people and for the proper crowd management. As you all know that if huge number of people are gathering at a place, the one important problem you will be seeing is missing of children, because there is no proper communication lines. Because of this, this chatbot is very helpful for streamlining of communication for devotees who are attending this Mahakumbh. So here how can you use this point? Like whenever you are using about whenever you are writing about any applications regarding AI, then you can use this. And even in your ethics also, if you are getting any question regarding stampede or like crowd management, there also you can use this artificial intelligence based chatbot can be used to control crowds or else proper communication between the people and to provide the basic necessities of the people. So in that way you can enhance your answer. So for that point of view it is very important. And even you can get a prelims question like recently Shah AI Act is in news. So what it is or what is the application of this? So which ministry and why this is came up. So in this way also you will be getting question. Okay, so be careful with that. And next, see this article, Trump written and South Asia outlook. So what does this article is about? Trump written and South Asia outlook. So who is this Trump? US president, right? So after this Trump came into power, so it will be having, obviously there will be some either positive or negative impact on different countries. So this article is saying that Trump written and how it is impacting this South Asia. So why we will be bothering about South Asia? India is part of this South Asia. So because of this, yes, it is particularly related to India, and you as aspirants, you have to know about this. What is the impact of Trump win in US on South Asia? Okay, now let us see here, Trump, he is good for India or bad for India? Good for India. Can you tell me what are the developments which happened during this earlier period of Trump with India? Any idea? So US-India relations done? No? Okay, so in January 2025, Trump will be inaugurated as 47th President of US. So because of this, it will be going to impact India-US relations for sure. So here actually one important thing that you have to focus is, so after Biden came into power, okay, so Biden is the former President of USA. So after him, now who is your president? That is Trump president. So because of this changes of government, obviously India-US relations had been changed a lot. So during this Trump, one important development he brought was CAATSA, that is countering of American adversaries through Sanction Act. So because of this CAATSA, many countries, they had a fear of US. Like what this CAATSA do is, CAATSA is nothing but countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. So if any country which is enemy of US, this country is enemy, this country is enemy, this country is enemy. For example, if India wants to go for trade or improving of relations with these enemy countries of US, so US will be using this CAATSA and it will be imposing sanctions on India. So because of this fear, many countries, they limited their relations with especially enemy countries of US. So in the same way, India also changed its foreign policy because of this fear of CAATSA. For example, we made crude oil imports from Iran zero. Earlier we used to get good amount of crude oil from Iran, but because of this fear of CAATSA, India made Iran imports of crude oil zero. That means we are not importing any crude oil from this Iran because of fear of CAATSA. And even trade with Russia also had been decreased because of CAATSA. Okay, so in the same way, again after Trump, once he came into power, again how the relations of India and US will be. So that is the thing which is given here. So here Trump administration likely to maintain and even deepen the strategic partnership with India, because one important common point which is making India and US to come together is China. So India enemy is China and as well as US enemy is China. So to counterbalance this China's influence in this Indo-Pacific region, so these two countries can come together and they may deepen their ties. So this is the one important point which mainly set. And next one here is, Trump also anticipated neglect of human rights concerns in favor of national interest could streamline US-India cooperation. So actually, do you know about this WTO, that is World Trade Organization. So what does World Trade Organization do? Ensure free and fair trade. So in this WTO also, your disputes can be filed, right? So cases can be filed in this WTO. So one important area where this disputes or like where the cases against India was filed is human rights concerns and as well as child labor is very high. So here once again Trump came into power. So in this Trump period, he may also improve India and US relations and he may neglect this human rights violations in our country. So if he is taking light regarding this human rights concerns in India, so that will also further more improve our India's and US cooperation. And next one here is, there is diminished role of Pakistan. As you all know that during Trump time, lot of changes are made by US government. First one is the withdrawal from Afghanistan, right? So with the US withdrawal from Afghanistan and as well as Pakistan's declining strategic importance, that may also give increased freedom for India to improve its furthermore relations with US. And next one here is Trump can also focus on India's growth. Like Trump's government can also improve investments, trade. As you all know that with many countries India is having trade deficit, but with US we will be enjoying there is trade surplus. That means here during this Trump period also we can have the access to this US market so that we can increase our exports, so that we can increase our trade relationship with US. So this is also an important point which is highlighted here. And even here we have the common enemy, that is China. So here Trump confrontational stance toward China will shape how South Asian countries navigate their relationship with both superpowers and leading to more pressure for reciprocal arrangements. So actually this point is saying that yes, China is a common enemy of India and US, and with this thing, so how this foreign policy of this Trump will be there regarding China, that will be shaping entire relationship of US with South Asian nation. So we have to wait and focus on how the superpowers will be changing their foreign policy. And next one here is global geopolitics. Okay, global geopolitics, like geopolitical economic factors. For example, if we are having a successful mediation in other global crises like Russia-Ukraine crisis, Israel-Palestine issue, if Trump is showing a big brother attitude and if he is trying to resolve that issues, obviously we can ensure the regional stability and as well as global geopolitics, and we can resolve this kind of issues so that each and every country will be establishing peace and security. So that is the thing. And see here, Swiss shock. EFTA member lobs back India's MFN tax volley. So what is this? So here the keyword is MFN. What is this MFN? Most favored nation. The keyword is most favored nation. So why it is in news? Because do you know this Switzerland? Where is this Switzerland located? Switzerland withdrawn MFN status for India under double tax avoidance agreement, DTAA. Under this double tax avoidance agreement, Switzerland, which is part of this EFTA, removed most favored nation for India. So here you have to know about what is this DTAA. That means if you are paying tax, for example, here we have India and here we have Switzerland. So between these two countries we are having trade. Trade means nothing but we have imports and exports. Okay, so if these two countries, country 1 and country 2, if they sign this DTAA, that is double tax avoidance agreement, so normally either country 1 or country 2 will pay taxes, both will not be paying taxes. For example, India is exporting so and so goods to here Switzerland. If India is paying tax in India, that is export tax, it will be not paying tax like import tax in this Switzerland. Okay, so that is about DTAA. So now what happens, so if any country which is getting this most favored nation status, the tax will be very low. Tax imposed will be very low in Switzerland. Okay, for whatever the goods we are sending from India to Switzerland, on this goods tax will be very low. But now what happens, Switzerland removed this most favored nation status for India. That means now Switzerland will be imposing high taxes on Indian goods. That means what happened, our Indian goods will become costly in Switzerland. So because of this what happened, there will be decreasing of demand for Indian goods. That means there will be decreasing of trade between India and Switzerland now. And next one here is, it will be decreasing our exports to this Switzerland. Okay, and even that will be decreasing of profits for Indian entities who are working in the Switzerland now. So these will be the impacts of the present decision of Switzerland of removing this most favored nation status for India. Clear? Okay, so this topic is important from your economy point of view, which comes under GS paper 3. So context says that Switzerland, which has suspended, that means removed, the most favored nation status for India under double taxation avoidance agreement, that is DTAA. So because of this, what happened now, tax burden will be increasing on Indians. So earlier the tax is 5%, but because of this removal of this most favored nation status, this tax rate is now 10%. So because of this, it will be affecting the profit of Indians and as well as trade and operational cost of Indians in Switzerland. And next one here is, this will be also affecting foreign investment in India as well. So if any developed country removed this most favored nation for India, obviously it will be affecting foreign investment. And next one here is international tax complexity. So this decision of Switzerland, which will be also affecting tax treaties between the countries. Why these agreements are making between the countries whenever they are removing this kind of most favored nations, it will be questioning about why we are coming with this kind of tax treaties. So after even agreement, why these countries they are not compliant to that tax treaty. Again, these will be like strategic challenges in the future as well. And next one here is, it will be having lot of implications even the worldwide as well, because it will be affecting the taxes, it will be shifting, it will be also having impact on the shifting of international tax relations, and even there will be issues with the negotiations. Okay, and we don't know like when again this Switzerland will be reactivate this most favored nation provisions towards India. Okay, so those are the things. So just see about what is this double taxation avoidance agreement. So it is a treaty which signed between the two or more countries to avoid double taxation for the taxpayers who reside in one country and they are earning income in another country. That means here we have India, here we have Switzerland. So here there is a trade which is happening between these two countries. So there will be some Indian entities who are operating this trade, right? So these people, they are paying tax in both India and as well as Switzerland. So whenever we are having DTAA, so this person who is operating his business, he will be paying tax either in India or either in Switzerland. So there will be avoidance of double tax if you are having this kind of agreements. Okay, so this is about this topic. So these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class. And one more announcement I want to make. So if you want to prepare for UPSC CS 2026, we are going to launch batch in January. So admissions are going on. So you can contact us on the number which is given on the screen, that is 8074765513. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy.